I got your big dirty review right here.
Hello, fellow human earthlings. Welcome to another episode of Big Dirty Reviews. This week I've got a starship that's kind of actually important to me. It is the USS Reliant, call sign NCC 1864. You might ask yourself, why is this particular starship important to the Big Dirty Nerd? Well, it's actually a bit of a story, but I'm not going to bore you too much. Suffice to say, when I was a young man, I didn't have the interest in Star Trek that I do as a middle-aged man. And one of my first experiences with Star Trek was going to see Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, at the Greenwood Theatre in Greenwood, Nova Scotia with my aunt and my dad. So that was really even though I knew of Star Trek, that was really my first exposure to Star Trek, like my first hardcore exposure to Star Trek, where I got it, where I understood what it was all about. So this particular starship, the Reliant, is of interest. It actually has special meaning to me for that reason. And of course, my good buddy and his crew of talented actors and producers in St. John's do a series called Star Trek, a web series called Star Trek Reliant, on which the starship that they use, even though it's in the 24th century, is based on this particular ship. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this. Of course, I'm not going to review the box or anything because we've been over several boxes. I'm just going to pop this clear out of here and pop that over to the side. Get the clamshell off. And, oh, this one is a beauty, folks. Just take a look. Just get a look at the detail in there. Isn't that a beautiful piece of kit? And here she is with her roll bar. Now, of course, if you know anything about Star Trek production history, the model of the Reliant in both its physical and CGI forms was used in different shows. It was used in Next Generation, it was used in DS9, redressed as different starships, most notably the USS Bozeman from, I believe the episode was called Cause and Effect in Next Generation, starring Kelsey Grammer as Morgan Bateson, Captain Morgan Bateson, trapped in a time loop. But anyway, way off beat here. Let's take a closer look at some of the detail on this. Look at the impulse engine detail right there. Isn't that gorgeous? You can see how much detail and how much effort. I mean, just look at the sensor dish, the sensor section. You can see how much detail is in here. Take a look at her from forward, and you can see the photon torpedo tubes at the top of the roll bar and the phaser arrays. And of course the extended engineering section. The neat thing about this particular class of starship, the Miranda class starship, is it doesn't have a secondary hull. It's just a couple of warp nacelles strapped to a primary hull, a circular primary hull, which was departure for starship design at the time. And we can see the shuttle bays right in there, 1 and 2. It's not focusing in, but they're there. So there we have it. A great amount of detail in this particular model, and I absolutely adore the USS Reliant. Let's take another look here. Take a look at this side, and of course the warp nacelles. You can see the warp nacelles right here, translucent plastic to give it that. Actually, let me just see if I can find a working flashlight so we can take a closer look at that. Oh yeah, there we go. You can see the translucency effect. And I shine a light right through there. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if the focus is coming in there. But the translucency effect on all of these starships is very cool. And I really do think it adds to the overall look and feel of this starship. Okay, enough chitter chatter. Let's get this thing set up on its base. So we take out the stand, pop the base. And I believe this one just wraps in around the warp nacelle or the impulse engine. There we go. All set up. USS Reliant, NCC 1864. Yeah, Cool. Commandeered by Khan in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Captained by, I think it was Clark Terrell? I might be wrong. That might actually be the actor's name. And of course, the first officer was, we all know, Chekhov. So that was kind of neat. Big role in that movie this ship played. And you can also see, I'm just going to shuffle this over to the side here a little bit so you can still see it, but you can also see here in the background pictures of the Reliant. I forgot to mention in my first couple of episodes that the Starships collection actually comes with a magazine about the starship that you have. So this one, of course, is all about the Reliant. And I have other ones there as well. But anyway, that's what I'll be doing from now on. As I get the issues coming in, I'll post the middle spread of the issue up so you can see it, and I'll use that as the backdrop for the episode. Alright, so that's it. USS Reliant NCC 1864. Hope you all enjoyed.